I'm going to do these things while I'm still young enough to do them, because my parents waited, and by the time they were able to do it, they were too old to do it and couldn't enjoy it. And Cynthia and I are not waiting until we are too old to do it. We're doing it now. I didn't know I could be anything I wanted to be. I had to learn that later. I did not grow up in a home where I was told, you can be anything you want. I was told you could be a teacher, you could be a nurse, you could be a secretary. If you don't go to school for those things, you'll be a file clerk or something, or you'll be making hamburgers at Macdonald's. And that wasn't for me. But after I left teaching, and I went into the business world, I learned that I could do something in areas that interested me, because I always liked science, I always liked history. I worked at the World Trade Center. I wasn't there that day, but that was very monumental in my life. That was much more satisfying for me. I loved getting up in the morning. I loved getting up and going to work. So that was exciting. I chose the life that I had. I chose not to get married again. I chose, the path that my life was taking. And they were my choices, and if they were mistakes, I would be the only one that would have to change them. So,
smoking. I came home from school one day, and my mother was sitting at the kitchen table crying. Ma, what's wrong, I can't tell you till your father gets home. Oh, so I said, oh boy, I must be in trouble. Well, it turns out that she and her girlfriends, who were the mothers of my friends, were talking. And they were talking about kids smoking, and my mother said, oh, Cynthia would never smoke. And one of the mothers said, oh, but I think I saw her smoking the other day on the street. And my mother said, oh no, that's impossible. And the other woman said, I think I did. And someone else chimed in, oh yeah, I think I saw her smoking too. So of course, when my father got home, we had a very deep discussion.
I think my nephew was like 3 hours old when we went to the hospital, and my brother put him in my arms and said, my son, that was special.
I had a lifelong ambition of becoming a prima ballerina. There is a school, a high school in New York City called the School of Performing Arts. I took ballet lessons for many years. And when I was 13, I auditioned for that school. And I made it through the finals. And there was a senior girl who was in charge of the applications, and she came over at the end and she said to me, is your name Cynthia? And I said, yes. She says, oh, you're in. So I was ecstatic. But I didn't have a letter saying that I was in, That came a little later. And I read it, and it said I was not accepted. And in the middle of winter, I ran home, locked myself in my room, and didn't come out for a week. But, you recover from those things. Of course, at the time, I never thought I would recover. I never thought I would ever be able to go and watch a ballet again. And you do recover, and I love ballet.
The sunrise in Monument Valley, woke up in the morning, I said, I got up early and I saw this bright orangey reds and yellows in the sky. I woke up and said, you got to see this. Then every morning we were there. We just had to get up early to watch the sunrise. We went to Moab 2 years ago. In Utah. And we went to some Arches and Canyonlands, which are 2 national parks. And we were on our way to Zion National Park in southern Utah when the person who took us a guide said, how are you going? We told him what AAA told us, and he says, no, now that I know you, I'm going to tell you how to go. And he gave us a direction to go, which took us through an area called the Escalante Staircase. And after a while, Cynthia says, I have to close my eyes. The beauty is hurting my eyes. It was awesome. The colors in the layers of rocks, from the pinks and blues and purples and yellows and greens. I mean, you don't look at land and see these colors except if you're in a place like this. I mean, we live in a city. I see concrete. You know, it's gray, it's dull. I think that was one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been.
I roamed Paris by myself for a week, took the train into Spain, went to my first real bullfight, saw my first flamenco dancer. She had just run with the bulls in Pamplona. She flew a plane. She was Anglo-Indian, and her parents had a lot of money. She already spoke 6 languages plus 2 dialects of Hindi. So she said to me, Cynthia, I promise if you leave school and we tour the bullfight circuit, you will learn more Spanish. And I said, fine, Juliet, let's do it.
Just remember, the opportunities will always be put in front of you. It's your choice whether you take them or not. And it took me a long time to learn that. A long time to learn that the opportunities are there. It's for me to say, yes, I want to take it. Or just sleep away the afternoon and let it go by. And it took me a long time to do that. But once I did, I was a happier person.